Good morning, Karthik.
Morning, Karthik.
Good morning, Karthik.
Good morning, Karthik.
Hey, good morning. All right. So we can start. Could you please go for mute, all of you? Rashikar.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Cool then. So let us resume. I have uploaded that previous session video. I hope everyone. Did you look into this video, which I have uploaded this 22?
Yes.
Karthik, still we didn't get the access.
Oh, I think so. Yesterday, who pinged me? I have given the access. Vinay, you did not?
No.
Okay, Vinay. So who all are not having the access?
Karthik, this is Mallikarjun. I have joined newly, so I don't have access.
Vinay, then?
Mallikarjun.
Mallikarjun. Okay. Mallikarjun. All right. Any others? Cool then. So after this session, immediately let me provide that. Okay. So here, so far what we have discussed in the science, virtualization we have done. Okay, let me open the worksheet. This complete platform we have understood: pricing dashboard, clouds, SLA, virtualization, all the stuff. So from today onwards, let us kickstart our labs, right? So what are the labs which we are going to discuss over this curriculum? Let me show you what are the labs which are we going to discuss, which it is hands-on. All right, this is the one. So these are the labs which we are going to discuss. So introduction of AWS, we have done, and types of platform, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, CaaS, FaaS, function as a service, right? We have discussed CaaS, Kubernetes as a service, and RAS, disaster recovery as a service. So those platforms already we have discussed. And types of cloud. All right, I will take you that part. Not an issue. I'll take that part. And types of purchasing, we have discussed on demand and reserved instance, spot instance, dedicated host. Those part will come under types of purchasing. So the first topic which we are going to understand, VPC. I mean, virtually, how can we create your private cloud, virtual private cloud? So it is completely network architecture, right? Any applications, if you want to deploy, first we need to create our isolated network. So then we could able to deploy your components, which we require to set up of your infrastructure, top of your AWS, right? So those part we are going to understand. So the first topic, it is nothing but, VPC. And second is how can we deploy that application top of your Linux or Windows box? All right, so how can we do that LAN stack, WAN stack, and XAMPP stack, all the stuffs? Let us try to understand. Storage platform, it is quite important. I hope you know that AWS, how they are making the business through storage. So AWS only, they are having 6 level of storage when you are doing the migration activity or any replications or number of objects you want to keep, number of copies. So lots of options we do have, especially in AWS storage platform. So when you are planning to take the global certificate, make sure that 40% of questions will come from the storage. So S3, it is one type of storage, block storage it is, and all the storage in just subsequent scenario, right? So let us try to understand. Glacier, which it is nothing but it is archive storage. So if you want to dump, 10 years data, 20 years data into the cloud platform, so you can able to do that. That is Glacier. IAM role, identity access management, user policy creations for console level. Let us try to understand those part. And how to create my AMI, which means how to take the snapshot from the server. I mean, max shot. How can we do that? So that is quite important. Lambda, it is trigger tool. So basically in real time, if you want to do any automation, AWS itself, we do have in-house tool. So which it is nothing but Lambda. And Cloud Trail, capturing the audit logs. CloudWatch, it is a monitoring tool. Notification, how can be converted as your ticket, P0, P1, P2 ticket? How can we set the SLA breaches, right? So let us try to understand. And the EFS storage, it's nothing but network file system. You might heard about the NFS server at on-prem. So same, we are using for cloud, which it is called EFS storage. All right, so AWS CLI, command line interface, that's quite important. CloudWatch monitoring tool, database RDS, Oracle. Okay, we are going to understand even data warehouse as well. Auto scaling, that's quite important scenario. So application should not go down, right? So how can we increase our scale size of your server in the production platform automatically? Let's try to understand. And the load balancer, full level of load balancer we are having in AWS, on which it is application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer, and gateway load balancer. That's quite important scenario, right? Let's try to understand. Miscellaneous is nothing but it's a kind of see this last two options we are not going to discuss because it's for customized option. Okay, so who is going to understand the professional level during the time? How can we customize our own template? Let's try to understand. It's not required. And first two options, Java configuration, Apache Tomcat configuration, we are going to understand, right? Cloud formation, you might be aware of Terraform, right? So see, AWS, they're having in-house tool, which it is cloud formation. So anyhow, I'm going to demonstrate Terraform as for cloud formation during this curriculum. Beanstalk, that is an automation tool for development team. Cloud formation is an automation open source scripting language for infra team. So both let us try to understand. And at the moment, we are going to understand two live projects. One live project, which I'm going to walk through. One, it is for you guys, and one will be case study. So our total duration is 30 hours, so out of 30 hours, 28 hours will be practical session. So the first topic we are going to understand, BBC. So this PPT already I have uploaded over the Google Drive. So I hope you can track over there itself. So here you can see, go to the presentation and you can see the hands-on. What are the hands-ons which are we going to discuss? It is available. All right. Fine. One topic I have missed, which it is types of cloud. So we are having three types of cloud, which it is public cloud, and private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Three types of cloud. Public cloud, most of the production platform will be in public. I mean, internet access will be there. Internet access will be there. Private cloud for dev, or for testing, or R&D purpose when we are creating, right? So it is only having intranet access. Intranet access. That is, private cloud. Hybrid cloud is nothing but a combination of on-prem data center and off-prem data center. So such cases, let you consider, we do have a testing environment, right? So for testing environment server, which it is residing at on-prem. Only production we are running at off-prem. This combination, we can call it as hybrid cloud. Make sense? So these are the types of cloud, and what are the hands-on also. I just showed you the pic. Okay, so let us track all the hands-on practically. Any questions, guys, so far? Anybody? So anyhow, all these three clouds we are going to understand. Hybrid cloud I cannot able to demonstrate because we don't have any on-prem data center, but rest of two clouds I could able to do that. Any questions, guys, so far? Whether no, Kumaran.
Hi, Karthik.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Sushri here.
Yes,
I
Sri.
just want you to explain about spot instance and pricing dashboard again.
Okay, so let you consider these are the data centers. Okay, so in this data center, approximately, I'm telling assumption based. So AWS, they're having 80,000 machine. Out of 80,000 machines, 75,000 or 70,000 machines they have sold, okay, to the different stakeholder. So 10,000 machines, ideally it is running. Nobody, they are not consuming. So ideally, if it is running, that will it be profit for the cloud seller?
Yeah, no.
No, right? So in this case, what are the server ideally which it is running, right? They used to go for auction. So they used to say, these are the machine and this is your hardware. This is your OS. If you record, you just pay 10 USD dollar, take this machine for 1 hour or 2 hours. Auction, bid mechanism. So what are the machines? If it ideally, if it is running, they used to go for auction. If you the users, if they record, they can take the machine and consume their machine. But it is quite cheap compared with other option. For industry level, it is not recommended.
Okay.
Got it? So basically, it is a bid mechanism, Shastri.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody having questions? All right. So the first topic, we are going to understand how can we, build your own data center. See, first we need to create your own data center. Then you can, design what are the components which we record for your data center. Then you can define the privilege for the user, right? Who want to access which server or which storage platform do they want to access. Let you define the user privilege for console level, for server level. Then, you can achieve the high availability. Then for this, you can, build a DR platform. If it is down, it has to bring up. So this whole agenda we are going to understand. All right. Okay. So the first topic, virtual private cloud. We are going to build your own data center. When you are creating your own data center, we need to buy the IP. So without having the IP, we cannot, right? So basically any project, if it is onboarded, after onboarded, you can see first the network team, they used to prepare CIDR cheat sheet, classless interdomain routing. In terms of IP, we need to call it a CIDR cheat sheet will be there. Okay, so for the cloud platform, we used to call it a CIDR. So when you are preparing the CIDR, let you consider ABC stakeholder, they want to spin up 70,000 mission. So what would be the CIDR? We should have the sufficient IP address. Then only we could able to spin up 70,000 missions, right? So other stakeholder, let you consider BCT stakeholder, they want to spin up 1 lakh mission. So I should have the 1 lakh IPs. Then only I could able to spin up the server, and we can able to, associate that IP for each server. So basically, once the project, if it is onboarded from the stakeholder, first you have to prepare the CIDR cheat sheet, right? So for an example, I just prepared some CIDR cheat sheet over here. I can show you. So in such cases, how can we prepare the cheat sheet? For you can follow this format. Let me upload this format over the drive. Okay. All right. So great. It's not getting 1 second. Could you please go for mute, guys? Could you please go for mute? Okay, thank you. See here. So it is your cheat sheet. I mean your CIDR. So for the production, what is your IP address? All right. So for non-production, I mean pre-production, what is your IP address? For DR platform, what is your IP address? And so accordingly, you have to build your IP sections. Getting the point? So IP, that is quite important. Whether you can use IPv4 or IPv6, it's up to us. But make sure we have to, we should have the sufficient IP address when you are deploying. After deployed your server, if you want to do any changes with your IP section, it is impossible. You cannot. So that's the reason, very beginning state itself, you just prepare your CIDR cheat sheet. All right. So first, let us try to understand the IP section. So once you understand the IP section, then we can come back and start to build your data center. See here, what they are stating that Amazon Virtual Private Cloud lets the customer provisions a private or isolated section of the Amazon Web Services cloud where they can launch AWS resources in a virtual network using customer defined IP address. So logically, if you want to create your own data center, first you have to buy IP address. In AWS, we are having the components which it is called VPC, right? In Azure, we do have the components which it is called VNet. So what is this VPC? What is the VNet? They are having lakhs of mission. First, you need to find what is your mission. That mission has to be part of your own network. So IBM, this VPC belongs to IBM. So what are the components which I'm creating? If it is going to be part of this VPC, who has to bear the cost? IBM has to bear the cost because it is part of their network. Getting the point? So first, you need to create your own data center. If you want to create the data center, we should understand the IP section. IP section is quite important. You might heard about subnetting, right? So definition for subnetting, anybody? Subdividing the network, am I right? Subdividing the network. Am I right or not? So let you consider if you want to spin up 100 server, how many IP do we need to buy? How many IP do we need to buy if you want to spin up 100 server?
100.
No, one. One IP cost would be approximately 20,000 if you consider. So if you want to buy 100 IP, in the sense, think about your cost. Should not, right? So one IP you need to buy. That is what I stating that subnetting is nothing but subdividing from the single IP. Makes sense? You should buy one IP. You should not buy 100 IPs over here. All right, so the IP section, it has two categories. One which it is IP v4, Internet Protocol version 4, and another one which it is IPv6, Internet Protocol version 6. All right, so two types of versions we do have. If you go for IPv4, what is your bit size? 32, right? 32 bits will be there. When you go for IPv6, 128. Make sense? So here, make sure So we are having that IP, which it is two category, IPv4 and IPv6. When you go for IPv4, the total bit size is 32 and IPv6 128. And the range for IPv4 0 to 255 and for IPv6 0 to 9 and A to F, right? That is the range for IPv4. That's a default. Who is managing IP sections globally? Anybody? IANA, Internet Assigned Number Authority. This organization is a Cisco partner, right? So IANA full form, you can see that this organization only, it's providing IP address globally. So IANA, they have defined the formula for, bit size for IPv4 and IPv6. So how IP does it is generating? IP Intel protocol, how does it is generating? Binary plus octal, right? So your binary value, which it is 0 and 1. So can we call it as 2? Your octal value 0 to 7. So can we call it as 0? 8. Makes sense? So this combination, it's going to provide Intel protocol. You can see what is your binary 2. What's your octal? 2 power 7 plus 2 power binary plus octal power of octal 6 plus 2 power 5 plus 2 power 4 plus 2 power 3 plus 2 power 2 plus 2 power 1 and plus 2 power 0. Am I right? You will get 255. That is what I stated. You can simplify this value 0 to 255. That is what the range for IPv4. Getting my point? Anyhow, IPv6 we are not going to use. It is not required. For ISP, Internet Service Provider, Geo, Airtel. So for those guys, it is required. For industry level, IPv6 is not required. So don't need to worry about IPv6. Let us try to focus on IPv4. Make sense? Is it making sense, guys? Anybody having question? Anybody?
Karthik, Mali here.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so as you said, IPv6 is used for industrial purpose like Geo and Airtel, something like that.
So
So
IPv6, yeah, ISP, yeah.
So if you want to like if you want to create our own data centers kind of stuff, so is it IPv4 is sufficient? That is what you said, right?
Yes, would be sufficient. You're right.
So like generally we'll be having four categories, right, in IP section, like 3 digits dot like that. 12 digits will be having, correct?
Yeah, I will show you now. See, IPv4, that is the default range, 0 to 255. In between 0 to 255, IANA, they have divided 5 types of classes. Class A. So class A range would be 0 to 126. And class B range would be 128 to 191. Okay. And the class C, the range would be 191. 191. And the class B range would be 192 to 223. And class D, the range would be 224 to 239. And class E, the range would be 240 to 255. So this is default range, Malay. Okay, so IANA, they have divided between this range of 5 category. So within this 5 category, once again, organization or public, what are the IP can be able to use in the sense? Class A we can use, and class B use, and class C you can use. For class D, we cannot able to use. It is multicast address.
Okay.
So multicast address in the sense, all the hardware you can see here. I'm just going to open my terminal. Let's see my local op table. ARP-A. See what they are stating, 224 to 239.
Correct.
So you can see 224 to 239, we cannot able to use. It is multicast address. And class E, they have reserved for R&D. That is also we cannot able to use. So industry level in IPv4, completely we cannot able to use. Within this range, we can able to use. Rest of we can't.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
And 127 is nothing but it is loopback address. For testing purpose, we are using this loopback address.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now, once again, you may ask me the question, which it is, out of this class, which class is suitable for my organization? Let you consider, we are having three stakeholders. I can say, okay, let us take it as IBM. IBM requirement is 1 lakh machine they want to spin up. And Infosys, they want to spin up around, let you consider Infosys, Infi, they want to spin up around 40,000 server. And let you consider, okay, so take, okay, so let me take it as a tech system. Their requirement, which it is around, around 200 server they want to spin up. So basically, they are having three different stakeholder. Did you heard about MSP? Anybody? So MSP is nothing but probably most of the cases we are going to work with MSP. MSP is nothing but it's a kind of naming conversion, managed service provider, which means, see, Flipkart. Let us take it as an example of Flipkart. Flipkart application owner is differ. Application owner is ABC. Okay. But they are having only developer. They don't have any infra team. So Flipkart is our, they are having their own application, but they don't have infra team. They are having only developers. So they are taking the support from Infosys. Infosys going to support infra for Flipkart application. This infra I'm just going to bring up on AWS. So Infosys stakeholder is Flipkart. Flipkart, they're having their own developer. The developer could able to do the changes with their code perspective. Those code want to deploy it into this AWS data center, but Flipkart does not have the team. They are having the vendor who is nothing but Infosys. So Infosys is going to support the infra level for Flipkart. But those infra which we are going to build on AWS, right? So the Infosys guys would be considered as a MSP provider. Flipkart data center managed by Infosys. That is called managed service provider. Make sense? So let you consider Infosys managing infra for Flipkart, managing infra for Paytm, and managing infra for ABC organization. So these guys, they want to spin up 200 server. These guys, they want to spin up lakhs of machine. These guys, they want to spin up 50,000 machine. That is what I'm trying to say here. So the MSP guys always to be very clear while preparing the CIDR sheet. So always, expected and unexpected, which means for next 10 years, I may get the subscriber of 40,000 or 50,000. Accordingly, you have to prepare the IP section. Minimum they used to take 10 years. Maximum they used to go for 30 years. Depends. So in this scenario, let you consider Flipkart, or recently I just, created that application. I'm going to put into the onboard of your production platform. So I don't have much subscriber at this point in time. So I do have very less subscriber, around 10,000 or 5,000 subscriber I do have. So after 6 months or after 1 year, it's gonna be getting increase around 20,000 or 40,000. So it's a double of your traffic. So accordingly, we need to spin up the server, right? So right now I just spinned up 2 server. In future, I'm going to spin up 30 server. I should have the sufficient IP for the 30 server to spin up. So in that cases, I have to prepare, for next to 10 years or next to 15 years, how many server are we going to spin up? Accordingly, I need to, I should have the sufficient IP range. If you don't have the sufficient IP range, if you want to do any changes, it is impossible. What we have to do in the sense, you have to terminate all the existing data center, bring up new data center with the sufficient IP. It is not best practice. Even the stakeholder will never accept this kind of performance. Getting my point? So that's the reason preparing the CID or cheat sheet is very important. We should know how many server, how many IPs, what are the components does it is going to consume your IPs, right? We should be quite careful in that. All right, so out of these 3 classes, which classes is suitable for IBM or Infosys and the tech system? Let you, I'm just taking as an example. Let's try to understand for each classes. Let's say here we do have class A. So class A, the range we have discussed, which it is 10 to 126. Each classes, it has 2 bit, right? I mean, 1 network bits and host bits. See, any message or any email, if you want to send, I need a network and I need 1 laptop or any device. So this combination will be part of all the classes, 1 network bits and 1 host bits. If you go for class A, so here we do have 1 network bits and the rest of 3 host bits will be there. Each bit, it has 8 of them. 8, 8, 8, right? 8. That's what I stated. You can calculate, it will be 32. So that is the reason I stated over here. See, 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. All right, so 1 second. So here, 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, your value would be 32. Your total bit size is also 32. When I go for network bits, user cannot able to change any value over here. Host bits, yes, user can able to change. See, I do have Wi-Fi. How many laptops if you want to connect with the Wi-Fi? Possible. I do have 1 laptop. Many Wi-Fi. Is it possible? The laptop can able to attach with the multiple network? No, right? So that's the reason. You cannot able to change the network. You cannot able to change the network. You can able to change your host. Make sense? Making sense, guys? It's out of topic, but even though the fundamental is very important before starting of your VPC creation. When you go for Infosys, okay, I'm just going to take a class B, not Infosys. Okay, this I'm just trying. It is different. Okay, then finally we'll discuss which class is suitable for Infosys and tech system. All the stuffs we'll discuss at this after some time. So now I'm going to take a class B. So the class B range, which it is 128 to 191. All right. So here 2 network bits will be there and 2 host bits will be there. Each bit it has 8. So here I can say n equal to 8 and height equal to, I can say 24. Makes sense? Is it making sense, guys? N equal to 8, h equal to 24. Am I right? And here n equal to, what will be the value?
16.
And h equal to, can we give 16? Right. So then, all right. So then if you go for class C, class C, the range which it is 192 to 223. So here 3 network bits will be there and 1 host bits. So 1 host bits will be there. So I can say 8, 8, 8, 8. We can write it down n equal to okay, so n equal to 24 and h equal to 8. Right. All right, so now if I, okay, IBM here, let's say, I'm just going to keep it in different place. All right. So now IBM, they want to, they record the 1 lakh IPs or here 40,000 something, fine. So if you want to find the range of your IP, we do have the formula. Let's say to find number of IPs, what is your formula? H equal to 2 power H minus 2. That is the formula. So using by this formula, you could able to, so you could able to define the range of your IP. It's a default formula. All right. So let us consider h equal to 2 power h minus 2. So I mean 24 minus 2. So you will get the value which it is something 1,777. I mean 652 something or 614. You get this much of value. You can simplify. You will get this. When you go for this is your h value. I mean number of host. The same you can simplify h equal to 2 power I mean 16 minus 2. So you will get the value which it is 65,534. That's where IP. I mean you will get that sufficient IP if you go for class B. And class C, once again, I'm just going to apply 2 power. So 8 minus 2, and you will get the value which it is 254. So you can simplify, we get this value. So now you can decide IBM. Their requirement is, 1 lakh IP they need. So they can prefer class A. They need only 40,000 IP. They can go with the class B. And, other organization, which it is tech system, they can go for, class C. Make sense? Making sense, guys?
Karthik, can you explain this? How you find out like h is equal to 24, like for class A, for example?
Okay, so for class A, h equal to 24 in the sense, how many bits we do have? 8 plus 8 plus 8.
Okay.
So same here. How many h value out of 32? How many h value out of 32?
Okay, and this is fixed for each class, right?
It is standard. Ayana
Standard.
already, yeah, standard formula.
Okay. Thanks.
So, yeah, all right. Others, do you have any questions?
Hi Karthik.
Hey, Vivek, yes.
If IBM require 20 lakh system means how will be the calculation?
See here you have a billion of IPs, right? Almost a 1 crore IP you do have.
Okay, okay.
Oh, okay. I think so. Correct, right? Yeah, that's correct. 1,777,614. Correct, right? You do have crore of IP.
16777214.
16 trip. Okay. One. Okay. 16. Correct. Okay. 16. That's correct. Yeah, you're right. So this much of IP will get.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool then. So accordingly, we can choose your classes. Fine.
I think
So
one more question.
yes.
From IP, how many subnetting can we do?
How many subnets? You mean from the class here, right?
Like you told earlier, no, from like gave an example, like from one IP you can do with subnetting.
Yeah. Let me show you that. Let me show you. So now we are understanding the total range. So next, let me show you how can we divide the subnet. Fine. So when you are defining the subnet, this is the total bit size, right? From the total bit size, when you are defining, or dividing the subnet, it should be /8. More than /8, you can give any value, which means, why should I take 8? See, initially, any bits, if you want to take, it should start from 8. Make sense? You cannot able to subdivide from the 7 or 6. It is, the packet floating will not be there, and it is not sufficient value to send the packet. So /8, it is the default to send the packet. That is your octal value. So when I'm defining /8 in the sense, okay, so how many IPs are we able to get? I mean, how many network are we able to divide? So out of 32 minus 8, what is your value now? 24, right? You just multiply 2 power 24. What is your value? 2 power 24 in the sense, what's your value? 2 power 24 value. So you will get, see, now it is coming back. How many IPs are we able to fetch? This is the one. So 2 power 24, 2 power 24, 16777216, 216 minus 2, 214. So if I'm using /28, is it making sense? I mean, Devi Gupta, right? Devana Gupta, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, is it making sense if I'm choosing /8 in the sense, you will get this much of value. So if I'm choosing class A, so in terms of using 8, if I'm using /9, what is your range? Same, you just simplify. 2 power 32, 32 minus 9, you will get some value, 23. So you can calculate 2 power 23. So some value will be there. So till /32, you can do. Subnet mask calculator will be there. So it's quite a deep dive. Basically, you can understand about the networking. You can see that class A, okay, see here. They are starting from where?
8.
They're ending from?
2nd.
That is what I stated. See, if I am using /8, you will get that value, which it is 16777. I mean 16777,214. See, make sense?
Yes.
So like this, they used to calculate. All right. So what is mean by this? -2. Any IPs or any class, if you're taken, you have to do -2. So when I say -2 in the sense, one which it is network ID, another one, broadcast ID. This two ID, it is mandatory. You have to reserve any classes. If you are going to choose, you have to do -2. Got it? Right? Fine. So now that is what accordingly they have prepared cheat sheet also. See, they are using /24 and here they're using, okay, /21 they're using, /21 like this they are using. So I can use anything. Fine. Okay, so now we need to start to build your data center. So which class is suitable? Let us try to understand. And accordingly, let us prepare the IP section. So once if you understand that IP section, I could able to build your data center. So tomorrow, Rajanta, which we are going to understand which classes are we going to choose and what would be the IP range? How many server are we able to spin up? Let us try to understand. All right. So do you have any questions, guys? Any questions?
Karthik, one question here. So you started with the AWS syllabus, right? So that part doesn't had anything related to DevOps. So where exactly the DevOps comes here?
No, DevOps is not a part of AWS. DevOps is a different curriculum.
Okay.
DevOps is a different curriculum. So that is different. It's not part of AWS. Fundamental only we are going to understand over the AWS. I mean, DevOps fundamental. It is
Okay,
completely different.
Because I have opted for DevOps, so I was not getting anything there. So
No, still DevOps. I'm myself only going to take care of the DevOps curriculum, but still I did not initiate the DevOps batch. The existing batch, it's supposed to get complete probably this weekend itself. It's going to get complete. Once if it is done, then that slot will be free. So I can initiate for DevOps as well. Still, I did not initiate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karthik,
Yes. Yeah.
So DevOps is starting after this batch, correct?
See, that's not after this batch. DevOps is going to start probably next week. Before starting the DevOps, some prerequisites are there. How to create the data center, how can we deploy your application, create the server.
It is part of DevOps.
Yes. For first 7 classes, 8 classes will be part of DevOps. That is a basic fundamental.
Okay.
You can check with the Synapsys. The AWS fundamental will be there.
Okay.
Yeah. So first 8 classes, you try to understand the AWS. You're going to part of AWS session as well. After 8th session or 9th session, when I started DevOps, so you guys going to be part of DevOps batch. All right. Cool. Then we'll meet up on tomorrow. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Thank you.